Hey guys, and welcome to episode 25 of How I Made My First $1,000,000. Today is not October 1st, but let's pretend that it is. I think you'll see why in just a few seconds why I'm so late. All right, let's do the numbers. So, first of all, assets 86,000, liabilities 70,000, net worth 16,000. So, how does this compare to the previous month? Well, that is why we have these lovely filters right here. We can just add in the previous month and we can see that compared to September, assets dropped about 4,000, liabilities didn't change, net worth obviously dropped the same as the assets. Okay, great. So I added all this stuff into Excel. I think it's going to provide some nice insights. I also categorized all the assets by type. So cash, gold, Bitcoin and crypto, stocks, Kiva, which is a lending platform. So you can lend money to people all around the world and then they pay you back. No interest, but that's not really the point. The point isn't to make money, it's to help people who don't have access to the same type of capital markets as we do. Real estate and businesses, none of those, but nice to have those categories for the future. And liabilities. I think I showed this once before, I think just in one video. Student loans, personal loans, credit cards, taxes that I still owe the federal government, any business loans I've taken out, which is nothing, and a category for other. So already I think this is pretty cool. It'll be nice to notice trends over time. So I don't really want to go into the weeds today, but that's one of the reasons why this video took so long. And yes, I could have done this well in advance of October 1st, and I started well in advance, but it took way longer than I thought. So there's plenty more to show you. So let's take a look at this. This is a chart of my net worth since this journey started. So 2 years ago today. This is the 2-year anniversary of this journey, October of 2020. My net worth started out at 26,000 and change. Today it's 16,000 and change. So down compared to where we started. You can see this hilarious rise. We got this sort of like double top here. And then back down even lower than where we started. Okay, I mean, that's life, I guess, and that's sort of what I signed up for. I basically tied my fate to Bitcoin and then just sat around waiting for the most part. So I basically deserve that. In the future, I might overlay the price of Bitcoin on top of this, and then we can see how similar it is. But I really just wanted to get this video out. I didn't have time to, or I didn't want to spend the time to make a whole bunch of charts and add a whole bunch of other sophisticated things. So I also added an income statement. So this is the first time we've looked at my monthly income in this journey, but I think it's going to be important. And I also think it'll provide some clues into what I'm doing and a little bit what I'm thinking. But of course, I'll have to supplement this with my own narrative for how I'm feeling. So anyways, let's dive in. So the income statement for the month, I was kind of surprised to see that I had over $10,000 come in and almost 9,000 go out. I mean, I guess it's good that this is a positive number. Net income is positive, but I sort of do that on purpose, which you'll see here. Where did the revenue come from? Well, the wages and salary is under $5,000, and the majority of this income is actually investment income, meaning from cryptocurrency. Basically, I sold a bunch of crypto to pull $5,700 out of my investments. So that's basically what I've been doing, is selling crypto to pay for life. Which I'm fine with. Like, that was my decision. That's what I signed up for. But it's not sustainable forever, probably, because as we've seen, nothing goes up forever, right? Nothing goes up in a straight line. There's all kinds of pullbacks and so forth. So, anyways, yeah, that's where we're at on revenue. Expenses. These are the different expense categories. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go through all of them. What's interesting maybe is food and beverage. First of all, I spent $1,100 at restaurants and only $30 at stores, like grocery stores. So $16 at grocery stores. That was, I think, one trip. Uh, yeah, so maybe we change that. Maybe we change that moving forward. Personal growth, $4,000. That's kind of insane. So what is that? Well, things I would classify as education. Spent $50 on books. I even went so far as to like, I mean, put in some real details here. This took a long time, guys. It took a long time. So I bought The Great Reset by Alex Jones, and I read it already. I, I don't know. I'm not even going to make comments about it. Anyways, I also bought The Network State, and I have a monthly Audible subscription. So that's what I spent on books. But anyways, courses, $4,000. I signed up for Rite of Passage. Rite of Passage. I will put a link in the description. Um, I don't even know what to say about it. But it already started. The course started 3 days ago, and there was some prep work before the course started. It's already insane. It's a 5 week course, and like I said, we're in the first week. And if it ended today, it almost would already be worth it. $4,000. I almost feel like I got $4,000 worth of value already. But we're just getting started, so it's insane. I'll share some things in just a second. Do I have anything else to say about the income statement? No. Other than this net income number 1600 is the same number that we see here on the cash flow statement, 1600. So the cash flow statement is the third and final financial statement. And this, by the way, you'd have these three if you're operating a company, like a publicly traded company or a sufficiently large business would probably prepare these financial statements regularly. I decided to do them for myself because I kind of want to treat my life like a business. I want to pay attention to my money, where it's coming from, where it's going, what I'm spending it on, and occasionally target certain areas to improve. So that's what I'm doing. So this is basically the same exact data as the income statement, just recategorized into three activity types: operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities. And I didn't make these up. These are like standard accounting categories. So operating activities for a business is like your normal business. Like if you sell shoes, this is all the income you spend acquiring the supplies, paying employees, and it's all the income you get from selling the shoes. Okay, if you also loan out money for some reason, or if you borrow money, that would go into financing activities. And if you, as a company, bought some stock in other companies or whatever, those would be investing activities. So, anyways, so operating activities, employment, this is the same employment income I showed on the income statement. By the way, this is a paycheck from Mike Maloney, and yes, he did finish his book. Yes, amazing. So that was done, I think, October 2nd, a Sunday. So, wow, feels incredible. So that should be available for sale, I guess, like on Amazon and everywhere books are sold later this month. He doesn't have an exact date, which I found strange, but that's okay. So later in October, that book should be available. So keep an eye out for that. So anyways, that's my employment income. Purchases, this 7,600 is basically everything I spent like living life. So that's rent, utilities, it's the course I signed up for. It's a whole bunch of stuff. It's basically everything just lumped into living. And then interest and taxes, I paid a little bit of taxes. So anyways, that's operating income. And you can see I have an operating loss. Like I'm losing money. If that's all that I do, I'm spending more than I make. So that to me is probably the most telling data point of this whole analysis is like my operating income is negative. So something to focus on, I guess. Investing, there's not much to say about this. I basically just sold some of my investments. But again, that's not sustainable in the long term. I mean, unless you're starting with a very, very large amount of money and then you're only selling $5,000 a month. But that's not my case, right? I'm getting to the point where I'm going to cannibalize the principal way too quickly. Anyways, last thing I'll say here is about financing. This is basically funding the business or like funding yourself. So this is anything I borrow and pay back, which actually does not appear here. It's in a separate category. Actually up here, taxes I have separate, but you could think of it like a debt payment, but really any debt payment would come out of financing activities. So I have these other categories here for volunteering. It's weird that I'm like spending money on volunteering, but basically, as a softball captain, this is where I'm putting my softball financials. So like I collect money from everybody at $50 or whatever the number was, and that would be a positive number, money coming in for volunteering. And then money going out is when I actually spend it to pay to sign up the team, to register the team. Or just the other day, I paid for lights, for lights at a field to practice at night. So, anyways, these aren't like hugely impactful things, but it's really nice to have them separated out and just see how they change over time. Okay, last thing I'm going to say is some updates. I just want to make sure I mention all these before we go. Completed Mike Maloney's book, amazing. As a part of Rite of Passage, jumping here down to number 6, so I enrolled in that, but as a part of it, in Build Week, the week before the course starts, you've got to build a website and launch it, which I did. You've got to build a Substack and launch it, which I did. And by the way, these take, 10 minutes or maybe an hour, something like that. Super, super basic, super, super primitive. They can be improved over time. I also started building a second brain. Like building a second brain is actually a course, and I plan on taking it at some point, but I'm basically using the ideas from that course and implementing it on my own slowly. So it's a massive note-taking system that's really, really cool. I also broadcasted my first Twitch stream on Minecraft. So that was a nice breakthrough, but I'm not going to go into too many details there. Basically, I'm going to need to find a way to get a better computer that can play Minecraft and live stream at the same time without crashing or freezing. So anyways, I enrolled in a Scribe course, how to publish your book. So that's a free course. That's really cool. I will put a link to that in the description as well. So Rite of Passage and Scribe will be in the description. One of the people I met in Rite of Passage just a couple days ago wanted to start a storytelling academy. For years he's wanted to do this. So we told him, just start it now and we'll we'll take the course. So we did. Started a Bible study. This is so hilarious. I can't even articulate to you how unbelievable Rite of Passage is and how profoundly it is shaping my view of the world and my focus and my professional network and my social network. It's unbelievable, and we're just a couple days in. So started a Bible study. I was talking to one guy and we were bonding over Bitcoin, and he's a software engineer. He used to work at Apple. It doesn't really matter. We bonded over all sorts of things in life. And then at some point in our conversation, he goes, "Have you read the Bible?" And I said, "Not really, no. It's something I always wanted to do." And he's like, "Let's start. Let's read it tomorrow." So he's read it before, and he's gonna like walk me through it. And okay, awesome, let's do it. So I also sold the rest of my Ethereum, so I have no more Ethereum. It actually feels really good. And finally, I overhauled these financial videos. So the monthly videos will be of this format from now on, I hope. Unless something happens. They're definitely more effort, but I think it's worth it. So yeah, anyways, thanks guys. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. See you next month.